Xena, Warrior Princess, The Reckoning. The sun hung low over the thick forest, casting golden streaks of light between the towering trees. The sound of rustling leaves and distant animal cries filled the air as Xena, the warrior princess, rode through the winding paths. She was alone, her trusted steed Argo carrying her swiftly towards an unknown destination. Though she had renounced her past as a ruthless warlord, the shadows of her former deeds still followed her, and the road to redemption was never an easy one. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream shattered the forest's calm. Xena's piercing blue eyes narrowed as she pulled Argo to a halt. Dismounting, she rushed toward the source of the sound, only to find a horrifying sight. A group of villagers lay slain, their bodies motionless on the ground, and the air thick with the scent of blood. It was a massacre, and the brutality of it made her blood boil. Before Xena could investigate further, a small group of surviving villagers emerged from the shadows, terror and fury in their eyes. One of them, an elderly man with a deep gash on his arm, pointed at her, shouting, "Murderer! She's the one who did this!" Xena's heart pounded, but she did not flinch. She knew she was innocent, but the villagers, blinded by their grief, would not listen. Soon, a mob formed, torches in hand, surrounding her. Xena could have fought them off. She had the skill and the strength, but she chose another path. With a deep breath, she raised her hands in surrender. "I didn't do this," she said, her voice calm but firm. "But if you want justice, then take me to your village." They bound her hands and led her away, her weapons confiscated. The journey was long, and whispers spread among the people. Some spoke of Xena's past atrocities, while others wondered if she had truly changed. By the time they reached the village, the tension was thick, and many were already convinced of her guilt. As night fell, Xena found herself locked in a dark, damp cell, awaiting judgment. The rough stone walls did little to keep the cold at bay, but she was no stranger to discomfort. She sat in silence, her mind racing. Who had really done this? What did they hope to gain by framing her? A sudden creak at the cell door broke her thoughts. A familiar voice whispered, "Xena!" It was Gabrielle, her loyal companion. The young bard had heard of the accusations and rushed to her friend's aid. Her green eyes were filled with concern as she knelt beside the bars. "Xena, I know you didn't do this," she whispered. "We have to prove your innocence." Xena, ever calm even in the face of danger, merely nodded. "The real killer is still out there," she said. "And if we don't find them, more people might die." Gabrielle's determination hardened. "Then let's start looking." Morning arrived, and the village council gathered to decide her fate. Just as the verdict was about to be passed, a shadowy figure appeared in the crowd. Ares, the god of war, materialized before them, his deep voice cutting through the tension like a blade. "She is mine," he declared, his dark eyes gleaming. "Xena, come back to me, and I will spare these people." Xena clenched her jaw. She had once been a ruthless warrior under Ares' influence, but she had chosen a different path. "No," she said firmly, "I don't belong to you." Ares smirked, unfazed. With a wave of his hand, he conjured an illusion, revealing the true murderer, one of the villagers who had framed Xena to cover his own crimes. The crowd gasped, and the real killer tried to flee, but Xena, freed from her cell by Gabrielle, swiftly caught him and brought him to justice. With her name cleared, Xena prepared to leave the village. Gabrielle walked beside her, smiling in relief. "So, Ares really won't stop trying to bring you back to his side, huh?" Xena chuckled, mounting Argo. "No, but he'll never succeed." As they rode off together, the sun rose higher, illuminating the path ahead. Xena knew her journey was far from over, but with Gabrielle by her side, she would face whatever challenges lay ahead, determined to forge her own destiny. As they traveled, Gabrielle looked over at Xena. You ever wonder why Ares keeps trying? Xena sighed. He sees me as his greatest creation. He doesn't understand why I walked away. Gabrielle smiled. Maybe one day he'll realize that you're not just his warrior anymore. You're something more. Xena smirked. Maybe, but I won't wait around for him to figure it out. With that, they disappeared into the horizon, ready for whatever fate had in store for them next.